Welcome back, everybody, to Lightning Speed Racing. Today we're here for the 11th round of the season here in Season 4. This is LSR Group 1, the fastest division in this league. And yeah, we're here with 16 drivers currently on the grid. We should have another joining in qualifying, so should have 17 for this weekend's race here in Group 1. We're back in Miami for the second time in LSR history. This is the Miami Grand Prix at the Miami International Autodrome. So this track has 19 corners that make up the 5.4 kilometers. That's 3.3 miles for those using that format. There's also 3 DRS stones to help encourage overtaking. The best spot is going to be down into turn 17. A really long straight, as actually we're riding on board with the Gajojo as he comes through that long straight, and this is going to be the best place to make an overtake. Downforce levels are going to be very tricky to manage as well, because of this track's nature of having long straights and really fast sections, and then also some really difficult corners as well, where you want some downforce on the car. So these drivers will have to manage a good setup for this race. So here we go for the Miami Grand Prix. It's going to be an amazing one, I'm sure of it. In the commentary box, it's myself, Formula Jonah League founder, and joining me in the commentary box is my good friend James. James, how are you doing as we head into the second ever Miami Grand Prix here in LSR?
Hello, welcome everyone into Group 1. I am doing good, and after a short break from the last race in Japan. And hopefully, Miami does entertain us like Japan did.
Yeah, Japan seemed to be a very exciting race. You were commentating that one, and we were just talking before the stream got underway. There was a very controversial safety car that affected the race winner of that. And that race also saw a lot of new drivers on the grid, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, the safety car really did not come out at the greatest time for some drivers, I want to say, in particular, but you move on, I guess, and you have to just go on for the next race.
For sure, yeah, and these drivers are here at the next race. They're coming back stronger, and we have a lot of drivers out on the grid that are drivers from the previous Group 1. We actually have some new faces on the grid that were at Japan, and some new drivers that have joined Group 1, one of which is Omar in the Ferrari, Mango's teammate at this current moment. New driver to the league, but we've heard is quite fast, so look out for him. A lot of quick drivers for this league, and something else I quickly wanted to mention as well is that we are on the final remaining rounds of the season, which also means we're on the final remaining races on F1 2022. We know this game is not very good, and we know that 2023 should be much better. And so this final part of the season is really about getting some good practice in, getting some new drivers in, and kind of just racing for fun. Honestly, we're racing for a championship. We're racing competitively, but Season 5 is where it kicks off and where it starts, I'd say, a new era of this league, and I think it's going to be amazing. So more on that in a bit. We're focusing on this race. As I did mention, we are towards the end of the season, round 11 of the championship. Next up is Abu Dhabi. Then we're heading in to, I want to say, Belgium. Yep, it's Belgium, then Brazil, and then finally Portugal for Group 1 specifically. So 4 rounds remain after this one. And there's a championship battle on our hands as well. Wouldn't you say, James? We have Speed Queen leading away that championship for Alfa Romeo. Constructors-wise, Alfa are also on top. But the question is, can Speed Queen win this championship? 25 points is the gap to her nearest rival, which is Betom in that Haas. James, just give us your thoughts on this final 5 races and who could possibly be the champion.
This championship is going to get very, very close towards the end. Like you say, Speed Queen is 25 points ahead of the closest rival, Betom, in the Haas, and if Speed Queen keeps on going on with her recent ways of being able to randomly appear on the podium, getting that podium very early on, which is very good.
Whoa, okay, hold on a second, James. Sorry to interrupt you there, but massive crash has just happened. Omar has hit Zayek, who was on the racing line, and that is incredibly unfortunate for Omar. Zayek was parked on the racing line. I think he maybe thought that he was not on the racing line because he was trying to move out of the way of a car. Sorry to interrupt you there, James, but that was massive. I was actually riding on board with Omar at the time, but there was a Mercedes just stopped on track at that point. That's actually a 5-place grid penalty for one of the Mercedes drivers. I believe that was Zayek, and that is just incredibly unfortunate for Omar. That is really weird.
Yeah, I was about to say something happened there because I saw the penalty came up for Zayek, and I don't fully know what happened there, but yeah, unfortunate for Zayek and Omar, who hasn't even got his lap done yet.
Yeah, definitely unfortunate for those two drivers. They will both suffer the consequences. Omar having to retire from the session so early, really nothing he could do there, and then Zayek having that 5-place grid penalty, which will put him down the order. But yeah, again, sorry, James, for cutting you off there about the championship. I know we were in an intense conversation about who was going to win this championship. So if you had any more comments or anything like that, feel free to continue.
I'm going to try and jog my memory, but yeah, this championship, very close, all the way to the end. It's going to be quite an interesting one.
For sure, yeah. I think we're going to get a very close championship. I was actually looking back at the championship standings before this race, and we got like 6 drivers in this hunt. One of those is B-Tom, Haas driver who won last time out in Japan. Oh, sorry, not B-Tom, I believe. Oh, wait, was it B-Tom that won?
No, Eugene.
Eugene, okay.
Eugene won Japan.
Gotcha. Okay. Just wanted to make sure there. But yeah, B-Tom, 2 wins under his belt this season so far, on board with the Haas drivers. He comes through the S's right now. I want to take an onboard lap with B-Tom as he goes through turn 7, I believe this is. This is right before you hit that long straight, the first long straight, first DRS detection point for this Grand Prix itself. As the DRS hits now, B-Tom crosses the line. He is hitting around 205 miles per hour as he powers his way down to turn 11. This is a great spot to make an overtake as well. Cutting that corner just a little bit on the exit, which right there, you can kind of go a little bit on that curb. And this is one of the most difficult corners of this entire track. It's that really tight chicane. B-Tom nails it though, really slow speeds around here as well, kind of like the Monaco of America as we come across turn 16, powering down that straight down to turn 17. He's going to reach around a speed of around 210 miles per hour. This is going to be the fastest point on the track. Deceleration all the way down to around 2nd to 3rd gear as B-Tom heads into turn 17, the last braking point. Full on the power, but this is also a traction point as well as he comes through a few corners onto the curb to the line. B-Tom is 3rd with a 127.519. Very quick lap time from the 2nd place sitter in the championship, but it is not fastest overall. Ickle Bickle and SSL Mango 1st and 2nd at this current moment, and Ickle and Mango are separated by around 4/10. That's a massive gap between 1st and 2nd, but B-Tom still a pretty quick lap there.
Yeah, very, very nice lap. Oh, B-Tom's had a little bit of a wiggle there in turn 7 area, I think it is, from you. But Speed Queen, championship leader, down in 13th position with 28.9. So I don't know if she knows for it. Let's wait and see what she can do.
I think Speed Queen is maybe this is her like first lap. You know, usually those drivers, or I know from just driving in Group 2 and other divisions and leagues, that usually you go out for like your first lap. It's not really your like timed lap. It's not really your first or your fastest lap, I guess you could say. It's your first lap. There's not really more to elaborate on that. But yeah, I think to go over what Speed Queen right now, what her situation is, she's currently P12 with a 28.3. It's possible that is her pace, but I think she can go a little bit quicker. We know Speed Queen's very quick, and we know that she could be able to fight for at least the top 8, I would say. As Eugene sets an even faster time than Mango, 126.8. And watch out for Rudy as well. The Alpine driver to the line goes P8 for Alpine, and wanted to quickly mention as well, for those unaware of this driver, this is actually Sevoflare. Sevoflare is now called NLR Rudy. So Rudy in that Alpine actually was the last winner of this race, won it with Williams back in Season 3. So he's the only Group 1 winner of the Miami Grand Prix, currently sits P8 on the grid.
Yeah, just coming back to Mr. Eugene's lap time, we thought Mango was the qualifying man.
Yeah, I mean, this guy might be able to take pole position in this race. The Red Bull driver might be able to take pole position here in Miami. Red Bull in the real life, as we know from watching the races, it's gone really well for them. Max Verstappen, of course, winning the Miami Grand Prix, and wouldn't you say he'd probably be up there as well? As hold on a second. CPI Jamie, a 126.86, and there goes Mango. Mango into the 126.6s.
So never mind, Mango might actually be back. But Mango, wow, okay.
These CPI guys are very quick, wouldn't you say, James?
Very. I wouldn't be surprised if there was going to be a huge battle all race through with these three guys.
For sure, yeah, and I think these three have shown some incredible pace throughout Japan, and now here in qualifying of Miami, they're showing that they can challenge for the championship, probably next season as well. Watch these three next season. I think they're going to be up there, but we have to remember, there's a lot of quick guys in this league. Besides these three, you got drivers such as Ickle Bickle, B-Tom. There's also people such as Seville Flair, won the Miami Grand Prix last time out. Speed Queen, super quick, leading the championship, of course. Then you have people joining next season that are going to be super quick. You got the likes of Gurnman, you got the likes of Forzan. You know, there's so many quick drivers here in this league, and I think a lot of them have kind of taken a break from F1 2022, as a lot of us have, and if we're already seeing some insanely quick times and an insanely competitive field in Season 4 of the end of this game, who knows what we could see in Season 5, right? I mean, like, this is the dawn of what is to come for LSR. We're going to see, I'd say, some of the best racing in league racing we've ever seen here in this league in the top division.
I would absolutely hope so, because oh, Tommy spun around in the chicane. As I was saying about LSR, but yeah, hopefully next season is going to be much better, with just so many more quicker drivers, just full out battling.
For sure, yeah. We got a lot of drivers coming in for Season 5, and to just continue what you were saying there, James, I definitely think it's going to be a close field between all these guys, and yeah, it's going to be a good one. We got a lot of drivers out on the grid, so yeah, these guys and girls are going to be going at it for season number 5. But of course, we're focusing on Season 4. There's still some racing to go in this league in Group 1, and believe me, we got some good changes coming for the next season that you will see when we are ready to announce. But final laps, like we were mentioning, James, Mango has been the qualifying master, but could we see someone new on pole position?
It could happen. It will be exciting to see something like that happen here today, because we've not really seen many people take the fight to the Ferrari man.
We haven't. No. It's been interesting to see how consistent Mango has been in qualifying. So, yeah, definitely going to be interesting to see if he'll be able to grab pole once again, or if it will be someone new on the grid. And by the way, for our viewers watching right now, currently we got, I think, 8 or 10 people live, so that's awesome. I'm sure we'll get some more as we head into the race itself. But we will be having a full wet race, as B-Tom does retire in the pit lane. He's good enough to be 5 at the current moment. But yeah, definitely watch out for the race, guys. We have sunny conditions here in Miami, but for the race, we're gonna get a lot of rain.
As Ickle retires from the race, he thinks he is good enough for P4. Love to see if he drops down any positions, but a lot of people getting ready to do their lap, or are finishing their laps now. Kevin Cow is about to come round the final 2 corners now. I think he did a personal best in the second sector, so coming across the line, it's now going to put him P11. So that'll be his lap over.
Nice slap from Kevin there. Yeah, that will be 11th for the time being, unless anyone else can improve. Speed Queen is starting her lap, so I expect the Alfa Romeos might be able to improve on their time. Albrecht as well is on a lap. Jahome on a lap as well. And then you got the top guys as well. They are also on times. Rudy is down by 8 100ths of a second, so he's not far down as Tommy does retire. I believe that's in the... Oh, that's actually on track. I think he spun off.
On track. Just almost Speed Queen. The Speed Queen not being affected by it may have had to slow down, but she is up on her lap time right now.
That's a hefty crash for Tommy. Thank goodness he will be able to continue for the next race. Also, watch out for Jojo as well. He is currently, or in the first sector, he was 4/10 up on his time. That would put him around P5 and beat B-Tom's time. But we'll see how that works out. And reminder, viewers, Zayek does have that penalty as well. Rudy's about to come to the line. Let's see what he can do. P8.
Speed Queen 5 attempts up on her lap time. If I am doing the math correct, this would put her around the P8, P7 position. So this is a very nice lap from her so far. We'll see what she can do in the final sector. She's coming around the final few corners now. And it's going to be P9.
Nice lap from the championship leader. She goes into the top 10, and Alfa Romeo are up there now. So that seems to be qualifying over, unless Eugene can improve. No, he's got an invalid time. So
Eugene is not.
Yeah, you're right. So it is going to be the qualifying master on pole position himself, SSL Mango, in the Ferrari, 126.635. It's the qualifying time for the Miami GP.
Might be up on his time actually here, and he's just down by 9 thousandths, so he didn't improve, but he is on pole.
Very interesting. All right, well, good to see Mango up there on pole position. Let's see if he can continue it for the race win. Qualifying is over for this race, and something I quickly want to mention as well, and actually two things I want to mention is, one, a lot of these drivers might be running wet setups as well, and that might be one of the reasons why some of these drivers are down on their times. I think Rudy and Speed Queen, I think they might be on wet setups. So watch out for that as well.
That is a good, I don't know what the word would be, but yeah.
For sure. Well,
Zayek will be what, P11?
I believe so. P11 or P10. I think
One of the
P10. Yeah, something like that. Somewhere around there. Well, we're ready to go for the race. And before I get your thoughts, James, I want to mention to our viewers, thank you so much for joining us here in the live stream. If you are new to LSR, if you want to join the league, subscribe to LSR. Definitely do that to see not just Group 1, but Group 2 and Group 3, and just overall content from the server itself. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Links are down in the description below. And if you want to join our Discord, as that's kind of where our league is situated, do so with the link in the description down below. It's quite obvious. I think we've made it quite obvious where that link is. If you're watching live right now, it's probably not there. It's posted right after the live is done. So, James, final thoughts before this race begins, because we got no formation, so we got to make this quick.
Let's have a clean race. It's going to be a wet one, so it will be a very, very entertaining race. I hope so, but we'll see what happens. But hopefully, nobody bends it into a wall in turn 1, and nobody tries and step on other people's feet.
Yes, that's definitely the hope. We'll see how it goes, of course. Miami can show some great racing. We had a great race last time out in Season 3. There's the clock at the top of our screen for when the race will begin. 25 seconds till the Miami Grand Prix gets going. 26 laps are awaiting us for this LSR race. And just to reiterate what James was saying there, also hope for just a clean race. These drivers need to breathe, just stay focused, and keep it clean. That's what we're asking. We're asking nice side-by-side action, especially into turn 1. Don't take too many risks. That's the thing with this one, especially with cold tires because it's the rainy conditions. Let's see. Here we go. Let's do this. We're a little nervous, but that doesn't matter. The lights are about to go out for another race here in LSR, round 11 of the championship with Mango on pole. It's the Miami Grand Prix, and the racing begins. Mango leads away from Eugene. It's a pretty good start for the back row as well. Jamie trying to make a move on Eugene as the cars go down to turn one. Ickle gets a little bit of damage. He goes a little bit too wide. Actually, Eugene has to go wide there as well. B-Tom in that fight, now up to P4, Ickle down to 5th, and JoJo is now looking to make that overtake on the Mercedes driver as well. But a pretty clean start to this race, and look at Speed Queen, already up to P6 at the current moment. She's trying to make a move on Ickle, who has a little bit of wing damage, I think. I think he went a little too late on the brakes there. Meanwhile, a car going off the track, is that Zayek? I think that's Zayek.
Yeah, Zayek's...
Oh, big crash!
What's happened there? Oh, we have a VSC.
That's, I think they were 3 wide coming out of turn 7. Zayek is also DNF'd. That's the same, yep, okay.
Okay, and Zayek is also retired from the race. So,
sorry to cut you off, James, in the sentence there, but I think what's happened is that another one and JoJo have made contact. What seems like has happened is there were 3 wide for a moment as Xiaomi gets a drive-through penalty. That's not good news for him. But they were 3 wide for a moment. I think the McLaren was trying to get out of the way of the other car, and then the AlphaTauri was also there, and they just made contact, and the cars just went in the wall. So really unfortunate to see them out. Another one, thankfully, not out of the race. JoJo out, unfortunately, but yeah. Besides that, actually a pretty clean start, wouldn't you say? Ooh, Mango almost losing the car there. Did you see that?
Oh, man, yeah. I've got him on, well, I'm watching him, and that was a bit too close, Mango. Might want to slow down a little bit. It's only the start.
For sure. But that definitely was a heart-and-mouth situation there. Mango, thank you so much for keeping it clean with that, and thank you for holding the car. A lot of drivers in the pit lane, one of which is Omar, who is out of the race already. He's retired in the pit lane, actually. That's a little surprising.
Look at another one.
Oh, what? What the?
He's gone on the wets.
That's a weird one.
Now, now, the track does not look that bad for wet, so... Yes.
So why has another one done this here? AlphaTauri driver, who actually won the Chinese Grand Prix in Group 3, reserving today for Group 1, unfortunately it's not really unfortunate, it's more just like different, I guess. So another one going for that wet strategy. Does he think that the conditions are going to get heavier? Maybe that's something we don't know. Are they going to get heavier?
Do they know something we don't know?
I guess so. I don't know. I mean, usually the drivers have a good input of what is on track versus us, right? Because I mean, like, we're just commentating over the action.
Yeah. I mean, we were told it's just going to be wet, but that's very interesting, so we'll have to see.
Yeah, for sure.
Into the pit lane.
So, pretty good start to this race, besides the safety car. Not too many incidents. The only big one was the collision at turn 7, I want to say that corner is? 8. It's turn 8.
It's 8.
I believe so. I think it's. I'm looking at my track map here, and I think it's 7 and 8. I think that's the same like left-hander there. It's just like a double corner kind of thing. It's kind of weird.
I want to say it's 7 and 8. It looks like kind of like a chicane almost.
Yeah, it does.
Meanwhile, to guess it's 7.
Yeah, I'm gonna say so as well. Actually, I think you're right. Ickle in the pit lane for Mercedes. So we are on lap 3 out of 29. Safety car should be going in this lap, I would assume, right? Oh, James, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. I was just saying, I was thinking about the safety car. I was like, I don't know if it's going to come in the pits this lap or the next one. What do you think?
I think it will come in this lap. I mean, nothing's on track. Oh, we've got a very slow Shahoma.
We do. Yeah, that Williams, it seems like he let a lot of cars pass there. I wonder if he went wide or something like that. I don't know.
No idea, but let's see if the safety car does come in. If it does not, then that's a... Safety car does come in this lap, so we'll get back into racing. We will have a lap of racing for once.
We will indeed. So the cars are warming up their tires. This is kind of good, actually, because these drivers can now kind of warm up those tires. They can get ready. Before, they were kind of on cold tires, so it was hard to brake, it was hard to steer, all that sort of thing. So this safety car actually benefits them quite a bit. Question is where Mango is going to go.
Where does he go? Does he go on the exit, or does he not? I think he has, actually. I can't tell from the angle I am at, but he has gone. And Eugene has kind of been caught napping a little bit, but Jamie was all over the back of him at one point.
Oh,
really sending it. No, he's not.
He's right on the back of Speed Queen. Speed Queen's a little slow into that corner. Here comes Sevillaflare. The Alpine going around the outside of Speed Queen. Here he goes. They're side by side. Who's going to end out ahead? Oh my goodness, this is amazing racing between the two very skilled drivers and battling for the championship as well. Speed Queen has the inside line. I think she's got it. Great defense from Speed Queen there. Great overtaking courage from Sevillaflare, but it's not over yet. Here they go. Here comes Rudy, a.k.a. Sevillaflare. He's using the slipstream to go to the outside. Speed Queen is actually going to try and defend, but there's nothing she can do. Rudy is passed. The Alpine has got into the top 5. It is now both Alpines in the top 5 positions.
From... down.
Oh, James, I think your mic is. I think your mic is glitching a little bit there. We couldn't hear a lot there.
Is that better?
That's better. Yep.
Nice. As I was saying, Eugene getting it very loose on the rear end, but passing Mango at the same time.
Very good move from Eugene there. Yep. The Japan Grand Prix winner, a.k.a. Fight Me Now Bot, I believe. That was his previous name. He has passed CPI Mango. I keep calling him SSL Mango because that's what his original name was.
As Acid Masters comes into the pit lane, Shahomi's had a really bad start as well, and is down 16 seconds behind everyone else.
True, that's not good news for Shahomi. The Williams down in 15th, and it's not the same, I guess, race that it was a few races ago last season. In Season 3, when Williams actually won the Miami Grand Prix. If we go back to that weekend, it was a absolutely amazing day for Williams, because it wasn't just Group 1, but it was Group 2 as well that they took the victory, and that was actually me that took the victory.
It was a very nice victory for you. And
oh, thank you.
Your first, I believe, wasn't it?
Yeah, first and only. Look at this, James. Jamie on the back of SSL Mango in that Ferrari. Do you think he's going to overtake Mango?
I mean, it's looking like it, because Mango just doesn't seem to have the right setup on, or he's just not in his element right now. Because Mr. Eugene is just going and going. And do not exclude B-Tom, because he is coming in on this battle right now.
He is. And also watch out for Seville Flair, Speed Queen, and Tommy. They are closing in as well. 7-car fight for the race victory. Is that actually possible, James?
I mean, it would be absolutely amazing, but it might be a dream one day, but hopefully Seville Flair actually catches up these lot.
So while all this is happening right now, we have, towards the mid portion of the field, we have another one coming into the pit lane for a set of intermediate compound tires. So we were right, I guess, in this scenario. The inners were the better tire. The wets were not the option. So a change in strategy for another one in the AlphaTauri.
Yeah, it seems the wets would not have been effective in the intermediate weather. Because the rain, to me, looks like it's kind of just steadying at a really slow pace for now.
Yeah, agreed. It's definitely kind of consistent. As we put in the Discord stuff, it's going to be pretty much light rain for the race itself. But yeah, look at this, James. We got the Alfa Romeos on the back of an Alpine, and I gotta say, those Alfa Romeos just look amazing on this backdrop, I guess. They're glistening in the rain. It's just a really cool effect those Alfa Romeos have with the color scheme. They're shimmering, shining, glistening off the Miami Grand Prix street circuit.
As Beaton now setting the fastest lap time, so these four at the front of the pack is obviously speeding up. It could be another move back up into 10 now, so he's slowly making his way after his first lap or second lap pit stop.
Yeah, don't count out Ickle Bickle from this race. We know that the league owner can really show some incredible pace in league racing. Currently P10 and chasing down Kevin Cal and Viperize, who are battling for P8 at the current moment. Kevin Cal, he's had a pretty good season, I might add. The AlphaTauri driver, currently P6 in the championship, actually still has a chance at winning this Group 1 championship, but I don't know, it's a pretty small chance considering that the gap is so big to Speed Queen in that Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, I think it might be a bit of a stretch for Kevin Cal, but he's had a good season so far. As being a reserve, isn't he? Or is he
He's full-time, yeah. He moved to full-time after a few races, I believe. So he's now at AlphaTauri.
Just get a message from Vipro saying Inter's best tires for now.
Okay, good to know. Thank you, Viperize. And while you're at it, you got to teach me how you do that magician trick of commenting during a race. That is something else, I got to say.
Yeah, he's very he's someone who can multitask quite a bit, which is surprising.
Yeah, it's a good skill to have, multitasking. And it's interesting because he's not just multitasking, but he's multitasking in a way of going under pressure as well. Because he's actually being chased down by Kevin Cal and Ickle Bickle and is commenting in the chat. So gotta say, well done to Viperize, not just on his racecraft, but of his magician skills as well.
He is another level of something. But Mango, slowly watching him as he is slowly catching up to the car in front of Eugene. So this is quite good for the battle for these four. As Ickle does get by Kevin Cal. Driver for him will be Viperize.
Yeah, definitely. Ickle up in 9th now. Yeah, like you mentioned, he will be chasing down that Williams in due course. But yeah, going back to Mango, you're right. I think he has come back at that Red Bull. This is a very similar story to the Azerbaijan sprint qualifying when Leclerc got overtaken by Perez, and then Leclerc started to catch up just a tiny bit to that Red Bull. And this was for first and second at the same time. So parallels from the Azerbaijan Grand Prix to the Miami Grand Prix here in LSR.
Yeah, it's getting quite interesting here, and hopefully, as I think Echo is getting ready to almost make another move for P8 this time now, as he's getting a lot closer to the car in front of Viper is just not able to overtake just yet, but I think main DRS straight he will be able to overtake.
Ickel coming through the field after what happened earlier on in this race. He does very well at that. The Mercedes driver, 4/10 behind, and will be back up into the P8 once he overtakes Viperize, and of course that's if he overtakes Viperize. So we'll see how this works out. And then he's got a huge gap to Tommy and the rest of the field. So we'll see how that works out for Ickel. But here comes Ickel in that Mercedes. He made a move on Kevin Cal in this similar spot. Let's see if he can do it on Viperize.
He's going to choose the outside. Viperize defending that inside line, but Ickel not able to try and make the move as Mango gets a 3-second time penalty. But will Ickel try and make a move in the chicane area? No, he will not. So the next straight, he may have a look.
Well,
just...
look at the traction difference.
Yeah, that's mad how quickly... Oh!
Safety car!
How big crash. Just trying to find... Oh, yeah, that's... middle of the track.
That's a big collision for Albrecht. Oh, an acid!
Another drive-through... Wait, was that a drive-through penalty?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, another drive-through penalty for the Red Bull driver as he got one from the start of the race. And this has opened up a load of people to pit. Mango, Sever Flare, Speed, Kevin Cal, Viperize, and Xiaomi all pitting for new intermediate tyres.
Interesting. Okay, well this opens the door up for strategy. Alpha definitely picking this strategy. It's actually worked out really well for them because Tommy is still in the same position. He's a lot of seconds down compared to his teammate, but they're still in a really good position for Alfa Romeo, so it's worked out. But James, look at this. The top 5 have not pit. That includes our race leaders of Eugene and Jamie, and then we got B-Tom and Ickel. Right decision by Ickel to stay out as well, because that's track position. That helps him quite a bit, and he's on newish tires. Then you also got the McLaren of Jim. He's now into P5 with those 9-lap-old intermediate tires. So, interesting call, wouldn't you say, for the tire strategies?
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting one. We'll have to see how long Ickel can go, because as you did say, they're 2 laps younger than the drivers in front of him. So I'll have to wait and see what he can do. Eugene is getting very close to the safety car.
He is, most definitely. This is definitely interesting from Eugene. Let's see. Does he come into the pit lane? This changes everything if he does. No?
No. I don't think anybody will now that the safety car has come around. I think that first pit stop was their chance to make that stop, but this hasn't really helped some of them if they haven't.
For sure. It's definitely thrown the door open, I guess you could say, for the strategy and all that sort of thing. As to quote Eugene, who actually said it in the comments down below, worst time safety car. But hey, that's how it goes in racing sometimes. It's not perfect. The safety cars are definitely not perfect for when they come out, but they make do with them, and I'm sure Eugene will do a very good job at maintaining his race lead. However, there's a lot of drivers out there that could challenge him for it. So, yeah, we'll definitely see. Actually, while we're under safety car, I'm going to go grab some water because, commentary, yeah. It's definitely exhausting.
I've run out of my water, sadly, for me.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll make shifts if the safety car lasts for long. So I'll be back in under 30 seconds.
Yeah. As Juna does go for 30 seconds, I will try and recap everyone that's happened. Well, not everything, because I can't always do that, sadly. Because I'm not that great at remembering stuff. As instead, my controller just says, no, you're dying. Right, here we go. So, safety car has come out because of our breach has spun around and crashed out in the chicane area. We also had another safety car on the first few laps. We had Jojo Zayek crashing out. Omar had retired in the pit lane. So we've already lost 4 drivers this race. We've had a load of pit stops so far, so it's thrown open the door to the strategy because 4 of the top 5 have not pitted, and that includes Mr. Eugene, Jamie, D, Tom, and Jim. So those 4 have not pitted yet, so this is going to be quite interesting to see what happens.
I'm back, by the way.
Welcome back, as Shahomi dives into the pit lane again. Understand why they've done that, but they've gone on fresher tyres.
Yeah, very peculiar strategy here. He's going to be quite far down. I mean, he's not losing too much time, but I don't know. Hey, it shouldn't affect the safety car too much.
Yeah, it should come in this lap, I believe so. I think we've already had. This would be our 3rd lap under the safety car.
I believe so, yeah. And Eugene definitely wanted to get this race back underway, as he was side by side with the safety car for a moment there, just kind of saying like, hey, let's get this race back underway, and hopefully we can get the race back underway. And speaking of Eugene, he's definitely ready. Speaking of Eugene, for those unaware, big news in the world of LSR for him. He has now been confirmed as the head steward of the league, so that's awesome as well. Replacing Ickle Bickle. Ickle choosing to go for the owner role and focus on that, and I fully understand where he's coming from on that. So just wanted to let you all know that if you do have any questions over stewarding, he's the man to contact.
Yeah, just in time, safety car does come into the pit lane. So now everybody starts warming their tyres up a little bit more and getting ready for the 3rd start of this race, and hopefully nobody crashes out this time.
Yeah, let's hope this goes well. 14 cars remain of this race, with unfortunately 4 out of the event, but that's okay. They move on to the next one. Eugene, where will he go? He's the 2nd leader of the safety car. Will he go on the exit of 17? Will he go on the straight like Mango did? Let's find out.
Jamie's getting right up to the side of him, and Eugene. Jamie was a little bit caught napping there, but great start overall. Having an all-right start, and Mango sent it down the inside of Jim, making a move up into P5.
Oh! Seville Flare is hit by Jim. I think Seville Flare was looking for a move there, and he's actually left the session. That's surprising.
I wonder if that's fighting Kevin Cowell, and he's got quite a few cars behind him as well. Viprise has hit the wall and got damage.
Oh, that's not good news.
It's got damage as well. If I'm correct, I don't know, but I saw debris just go everywhere, and Xiaomi's almost taken out his teammate.
Yeah, the AlphaTauris and the Williams having a battle here for the century, I guess you could say. Interesting to see that, but yeah, going back to what happened with Jim and Rudy there. they were side by side, and I think Jim, maybe, I don't know, he was waiting for Rudy to back out or something like that, but either way, the two drivers did make contact, and Rudy left the session, so that's unfortunate, of course. Hopefully, either, I think that was intentional, so he'll come back stronger, hopefully, in the next one at Abu Dhabi.
I can confirm it is vaporized and another one having a front wing damp.
Interesting.
Not dive into the pit lane then.
I mean, sometimes on safety cars, or sorry, not on safety cars, on just normal race distance, the drivers, like, if they have like minimal damage, you know, it doesn't affect too much, and so they can continue to stay out. Because if they pit, they'd be so far down compared to the rest of the field, right?
Yeah, they will be hoping for another safety car, and I think they will have their fingers crossed for that to happen. But we will have to wait and see what happens. But Mango on the back end of Ickle Bickle as Shahomey gets a 3-second time penalty.
That's not good news for Shahomey, as he's searching for a top 10 result. That could put him out of the points, so that would not be good. Mango does have that penalty as well, so watch out for that. Meanwhile, the two Williams having a nice battle here for P10, it seems, as the Xiaomi does get into P10. Viperize still in P11, so no change there in terms of positions. Don't fight your teammate too hard, you know, because this is the battle for the teammates, I guess. There's you don't want to hit your teammate. It's the golden #1 rule.
Yeah, that is definitely a rule you do not want to do, and we have seen quite a few of that happen in real life. Some to say the Mercedes one is a very classic one, and the Baku one.
Oh yeah. Two, I wouldn't say extraordinary, but crazy moments in the world of Formula One, in the history of Formula One. I don't think we've ever seen it.
Both McLaren's Senna and Prost.
Oh, yeah. 1989, I want to say.
I want to say it's Japan as well. I don't know.
It was. It was the final corner. Yeah, because remember, that's what's so funny about that incident, because it was Senna and Prost. They made contact at, I want to say it's turn 16, like final braking zone. And then like a year later, they did it again. Then it was different teams. Prost was with Ferrari, and then Senna was with McLaren. But they made contact again at turn 1. Do you remember that one where they both made contact, went into the sand, and were out from the race lead?
Yeah, they were fine for the championship, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, both times.
It's not a good way to try and end the championship at all.
For sure, yeah, it's definitely an interesting moment in the world of the history of Formula One. But that's racing. We move on. Heated rivalry between the two. Meanwhile, battle for P3 right now. Tom, Ickle, and CPI Mango. That Ferrari 5-lap-old intermediate compound tires. How's this for an answer though onto strategy? Mango wins the race with these intermediate compound tires. Or actually, no. Let me rephrase that. Ickle Bickle wins the race with those intermediate tires because he's already pit in a race. The top 3 have to pit because it's required to. So Ickle Bickle, is it possible that he could win Miami today?
It is a very good possibility because this is where he does not want a safety car, but the front runners do need a safety car if they want to stay and try and win this race. Right now, Ickle Bickle is the man winning this race, so yeah, that's something to think about for the front runners. Mango will not have to worry about it unless he passes him. He has to get that 3-second margin.
Exactly. Yeah, if the safety car does not come out, it's a battle between Ickle, Mango, and Speed Queen, I'd say. The others are a little far off compared to those 3. I would say it's the top 6. That's who's going to win this race. Although Tommy's actually not too far off either, so could be one of the top 7 winning this event.
could be anyone. This is it, because the pit stop is going to take quite a while. So the top three could genuinely be Ickle, Mango, Speed Queen, but Mango's going to get that 3-second time penalty. So Ickle, Speed Queen, Tommy as Jamie pits.
First pit stop for the top three of this current race. Should be on to another intermediate compound tire, I believe.
Keep an eye out to where they come out of, because this is kind of crucial if they come out quite far behind or if they come out in a nice area, but they are in P11 right now.
Yeah,
so they're
Jamie
gonna have to climb their way back up.
Yeah, and Jamie's now 3.2 seconds behind Viperize, so definitely will need to catch up to those field and make an overtake. Four-way battle for second position at the moment. Here comes Ickle Bickle on B-Tom. I think B-Tom's got a little bit more straight line speed, though, compared to Ickle, so he's going to stay ahead for the time being, but it is a four-way fight. Haas, Mercedes, Ferrari, and Alfa Romeo. Let's do this. 17 laps into this race, and we have a few laps remaining of it. Who's going to win this one? We have got no idea because there's so many drivers involved.
Yeah, I think this is the most drivers we've had involved who can win this race at the moment. And we're on lap 17, so this could go any way, or anyone's way right now. But Ickle Bickle, the man to watch and the man who's going to win it, maybe.
Let's see. We'll find out. And also, don't forget about Speed Queen either, viewers. She's right there in that fight and could very well win this one as well because she's got 7-lap newer tires than Ickle Bickle. And the reason why we're counting out Mango here is because he's got that 3-second time penalty and could affect his race result of this event.
Yeah, right now that is putting him... It's putting him behind of Speed Queen, so Speed Queen only moving up one position. But if Tommy does catch up very slowly, he could see himself out of a podium position.
Yeah, both Alfa Romeos in for a top 5 at least. They're having a really good race at the moment. Although Jamie catching up to Viperize really quickly, so who knows? This could be coming down. Oh, Mango gets another.
So that's definitely him, possibly out of contention for podium.
It has to be. I don't see any other way.
So that's put both Alfa Romeos in a position. And how will that affect the championship standings?
That will help them to extend their lead of the constructors, and Alfa Romeo might be grabbing this constructors championship with the result that they are hopefully going to get. We hope the best for the Swiss-Italian team. Yeah, we'll definitely see. There's still about 11 laps remaining, maybe about 8, or sorry, not 11, about 10. As Mango does get ahead of Ickle. Ickle's still there though. The two are side by side, heading into the final couple of corners of this lap. Oh, contact Mango! What has just happened?
Weird. Okay. Mango's lucky that he was just going into that pit lane wall, otherwise he would have been out of this race, I think.
100%. Yeah, that's surprising that he ended up there. He was just saved by the pit stop there. I can't believe he was able to get back out on track. Pretty much only 3 seconds behind. That's a really lucky scenario there. These two are very high-class drivers, so it's kind of weird to see them both collide, I guess, in that way. It's a very narrow part of the track, so I'm sure they'll brush it off and go like, it's whatever, it's life. But that does help out Ickle, wouldn't you say? He's actually gotten Mango kind of off the back of that Mercedes.
Yeah, that has helped. That's helped Ickle Bickle very much, but now Speed Queen is behind, so maybe it's a good thing, maybe it isn't. We'll have to wait and see. I've just put in a calculator because I do not know my math, but right now Alfa Romeo will be on 228 points.
Ooh. If they finish in this position right now, or if they finish in a podium?
On the podium, I'm doing it because the front two still need to pit, so I'm counting out those two because they will need to pit at some point.
Right, because it's technically
not mandatory.
It should
it's a
be.
wet race, isn't it?
Oh, that's true. I wonder if they.
So,
viewers, we're doing calculations here. Sorry, it's
because technically you don't have to use 2 compounds in a wet race, so Eugene could still win this race.
Rick Strading has just said in our comments it's not mandatory in the wet. So, yeah, that's true, actually. So, okay, it's just been confirmed by the 3 of us here, James, myself, and then our Group 3 driver in the comments below. So it's technically possible for Eugene and B-Tom to stay out on these tires. Because, okay, here's the thing. Here's what I'm thinking here. Eugene and B-Tom, they are one of the best drivers we've seen in league racing. It can't be a coincidence that they both make a mistake from the race lead of the race. They have to be up to something. They're planning something here. So it's not like, oh, I'm just going to pick whenever. They have a strategy here. They are strategists, really, when it comes to racing. They can pull off some incredible strategies here. So is it possible they could actually maintain this gap and stay in these 2 positions on the same tires they started on?
It might be possible, but the Inters might wear out, because remember I did it in Silverstone and the Inters at the end were not the greatest, so it just depends on how well their tyres are, and I wish the game would allow us to see their tyre wear, but it randomly appears, so that is
yeah, doesn't it randomly? That is weird. You know, I wonder if 2023 will have an option to see that. I hope so.
That'd be kind of cool.
That would be more options for commentary. EA, if you're hearing this, and Codemasters, please implement that into spectator menu. We'd love to get that option because there's a lot of commentators, not just myself and James, that commentate on league racing, and I'm sure we can all agree on the same thing. We want more options for commentary, more options for us to see. So who knows? We'll see how that works out. But hear me out here in terms of victory for this Grand Prix. If Eugene and B-Tom do eventually pit, Bickle would technically be in first position. However, he is on 18-lap-old intermediates, and like we have been saying, those tires are going to wear out quite a bit. So, if the top 3 are all out, that puts Speed Queen in first, and Tommy in second, which means an Alfa Romeo 1-2 here in Miami. Is that actually a possibility? James, what's your thoughts on that?
It's a general possibility, I believe, because if these tires start wearing out really soon, because they've already done 21 laps, and I know the Inters that they can last a whole distance, but they are going to get back towards the end of the race. So we'll have to keep an eye out on the front 2 runners, and it's just a question whether these 2 drivers have actually been saving their tires or not.
For sure, yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting race in terms of who finishes where. We'll wait and see, I guess. Actually, hold on a second. Let's take a look at P8. CPI Jamie, who pit earlier on from the top 3 positions, he is now in P8. 2.5 seconds behind Kevin Cal. Likely will be able to overtake the AlphaTauri driver because he's on 5-lap-old intermediate tires. Then they will be able to challenge for the top 6 because Jamie's going to be in 7th and starting to catch up to Mango, I believe, on those tires. So Jamie could have a really good shot at a podium, and if they continue this pace from 22 laps to the end of the event, then he might be able to take overall victory.
Yeah, he only needs at least a second to Mango, and I believe he can eventually get that gap down to under 6 seconds, and that'll be good news for him. But we'll have to wait and see what he can do. But he's, if not,
Oh, sorry, James. What did you say at the end? I think your mic was cutting out for a moment.
he should be able to get P6 if he does catch up to Mango.
Oh, true. Yeah, that's definitely correct.
Because right now he only needs 2 seconds and he's already on the back of Kevin Cal.
Yeah, he's caught up to the AlphaTauri and should be able to overtake him probably within this lap due to the amount of time he's gained already due to those tires. So, very interesting. We'll see how that works out for Jamie in the Alpine. So 23 laps into this race. We still have a few laps to go. It's uncertain who's going to win this one because, like, who knows with racing and all that sort of thing. But we will find out in due time. Besides Group 1, though, we've had some great racing in Group 1, just to add. But besides Group 1, James will be racing tomorrow in Group 2. Any thoughts heading into the Miami Grand Prix for Group 2?
I am just hoping for a good race. I haven't had the greatest second half to the season, but Japan was kind of a breakthrough because I finally got points after being retired from 2 races out of the last 4 I've done. So, not the greatest.
Yeah, I feel like Japan was definitely a hard one, I'd say, but you were able to get some points, which was good. I got 1 point from the sprint. Jamie gets past Kevin Cal, by the way. He's just got up into P7 now ahead of the AlphaTauri. Oh, was there a little bit of contact there? No, there wasn't. Okay.
So he needs 3 seconds. That's all he needs now.
He should get that. I mean, that's 6 seconds he's got to catch up to Mango. He should be able to take that. But yeah, Group 2 tomorrow, definitely going to be an interesting one. I feel like I'm going to come back stronger here in Miami. I usually do really well here, although it's going to be raining like this tomorrow in Group 2. James, just to let you know, Viperize said in the chat he was wondering if he's going to win tomorrow. He said P1 tomorrow with a question mark.
Viperize, I want to put you down and say, no, you're not winning it.
P13, that's your result. No, yeah, we definitely hope that Viperize gets a good race tomorrow. That's the interesting thing about Group 2. That's the cool part, I think, about Group 2 is that, and this is no disrespect to any other tiers or anything like that, but we have Group 1, which of course is our very competitive division. I'm not really sure how they handle it in how they handle like voice chats or anything like that, but in Group 2, I feel like we're like. We got a bunch of people all in the party chat, and we're just kind of talking and all that sort of thing. And then like a huge incident happens. It's like, oh my gosh, this happens, and then like I don't know, like a few seconds later, we're all chill about it. It's no big deal. So yeah, that's yes. Speaking of another tier we haven't talked about today, and we have a driver commenting down below. I believe that's R Stratting. He said P1 for me tomorrow, and that's Group 3. That's tier number 3 that he's talking about. Tier 3 has been, or Group 3 as we call it, has been awesome racing. Like, we've had some great battles. And, James, I'm not sure if you're aware of the championship standings, but we got a super close fight for the Drivers' Championship. I believe 6 drivers have a chance of winning it in the next 3 or so races. So, isn't that insane?
That's quite interesting to see, and hopefully I'll be commentating if I'm not too tired or I'm not in pain, because from the race before it gets quite tiring.
Yeah, it definitely does, and understandable why if you can't make it or whatever, but we definitely hope you can commentate since you're one of the best commentators we have, and we have a lot of good racing in Group 3, of course. They will be tackling the Miami Grand Prix circuit for the first time in LSR history. Group 2 has already been here, and Group 1, of course, as well, back in Season 3. And now for Season 4, Group 3 will be taking it on for the first time.
Yeah, it'll be quite interesting. Mango has finally caught up to the back end of Tommy. But I don't really think there's going to be much of a fight, as Mango does know he has got that penalty. But I'm also going to say Jamie has now got a penalty.
Ooh.
So
That's
going to block his chances of being able to catch up and pass Mango. So the top 5 right now is probably going to be the top 5 for the rest of the race. We do have 4 laps left, so anything can happen now with the way the tyres are.
Yeah, and that means if it is indeed the top 5 at the end of this race, how it is right now, from what you've said, that means Eugene and B-Tom are going to stay on the same tires that they started on with the race, which, and like, hey, they got a few laps to go. Does this, I don't know, can they actually, will the game disqualify them at the end of the race? If that's the case, that's going to be incredibly unfortunate for them, but I don't know.
I don't think it should disqualify them, as they are in a wet race. They don't need to use a different compound of dry tyres. So that cancels it out, and you only need to use one compound, which is the intermediate tyres.
Interesting. Okay, well, good to know on that. We'll definitely see who is going to be here. We have some support for Eugene coming from Troy, I believe. If you're still in the comments section, I believe that's actually he's actually won a race in LSR back in Mexico, season 1. I don't know if you remember that race. That was Group 2. I think you showed up for a race or so, and you were so quick. You won the race. That was season 1, Mexico. I don't know if he says, have I won a race here? I believe you have. I think it was Mexico, season 1. I think you have. Yeah, I think you raced one race. I think it was Mexico, season 1, round 3 of the championship, because you were driving for a Red Bull, if I remember correctly. I was commentating that one, and then Forzan was P2, and I want to say like Hella High was P3 or something like that. I can't remember. You gotta come race with us again. We'd love to have you here. 100% win record. For sure.
I think Beaton those tyres are slowly wearing off now, because he's fallen back from Eugene quite a bit, and Ickle's caught up under a second now. So I wonder if his tyres are slowly getting old and getting to that age where it's starting to become a bit harder for him to be under the pace of the other drivers. But we'll have to see what happens.
Definitely. We'll see. Oh, B-Tom made a little mistake. Mango's got a penalty in the process. Ickle's right in the back. He sees this opportunity. This is the opportunity for Bickle to grab P2 in this event. Speed Queen is right there as well, championship leader in the Alfa Romeo. Meanwhile, we have a battle for P5. Tommy versus Mango. I believe Mango's looking for the move on Tommy. Here comes the Ferrari driver. Tommy's defending the outside line. Is Mango going to send it? No, he's not. He's too far back to make that overtake. Back up at the front. Bickle right on the back of B-Tom. And here comes Speed Queen as well. It's still that three-way fight for the race lead as the drivers approach the second to last lap of the race. The penultimate lap is about to begin here in Miami.
Start to crack through the drivers, as we saw Beaton make a little bit of a mistake in the chicane area. So I wonder, are these tyres really getting to the end of their age and they're just not able to get under traction again? But we did see Beaton have insane straight line speed on the back straight, so we'll have to see.
Ooh, Bickle's twitchy out of turn 8. That's going to, unfortunately, ruin his chances of making an overtake on B-Tom on turn 11, just coming up. But he has another opportunity, and we had a comment coming through, James, of someone saying top 2 puncture. Is that possibility? a possibility for the top 2 to puncture their tires on the last lap?
Now, that'd be quite interesting to see if that does actually happen. Very interesting who would win that race then, because anybody could win it. Bit of a mistake then.
Yeah, we'll definitely see. Here we go. Final lap of the race for the Miami Grand Prix. Look at this 5-car train. Tommy and CPI Mango have chased down the top three in this battle here. So now they have joined. Alfa Romeo are on for a double top 5, which would just be amazing if they can pull this off. And also incredible tire management from Eugene and B-Tom. They start the final lap of the race. Let's hope that they make it to the end.
Yeah, this is going to get very interesting. Want to get onto that podium and wants to make a move as quickly as you can on Ickle. I think he was almost looking for a move down the inside of Ickle, but just not able to do it yet. So we'll have to see what Speed Queen can do for anything for a podium.
On board with Speed Queen, the championship leader in the Alfa Romeo. She's chasing down Ickle Bickle and B-Tom. B-Tom's got just to continue what you were saying there, James, B-Tom's got a lot of straight line speed. You're right.
He gets an amazing under the traction, and Ickle's just not able to capitalize on that. Mango and Tommy fighting it through. Still, it's one even.
Oh, I think you're glitching out there, James. Sorry to interrupt. Not sure. Are you back with us? Or?
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you now. Okay, you're good. Well, here comes Mr. Eugene. He won the Japanese Grand Prix last time out. It's been an amazing drive for him. He started on these tires. He's going to finish on these tires, and he's going to finish at P1. He wins Japan. He wins Miami. Eugene is on top. B-Tom, another incredible drive from him. P2 at the flag. Ickle Bickle on the podium. Great to see him up there. And it is a double top 5 for Alfa Romeo as well. Speed Queen and Tommy, P4 and P5. Jamie's able to get 6 because Mango has those penalties. It will be Kevin Cow in P8 for AlphaTauri. Shahomi gets some points at the end of the day, so great to see him up there after a difficult start to the race. He's actually got no win as well. And then it's going to be, I think, another one in P10 for the reserve driver of AlphaTauri. But James, just want to get your thoughts on this. Mr. Eugene on top here in Miami.
A very, very nice drive from Mr. Eugene. And to not pit, and to keep those tyres steady for 29 laps, and to beat them as well. But very good battle from everyone here today, and what a race.
Truly an amazing one. It was really clean racing actually from all these guys, so great to see it. A few incidents, but that's not too, it was not too many. That's league racing as well. But yeah, these guys did an amazing job. Definitely agree with you on the strategy there. Viperize finishes out with getting on track in style.
Does you want to do a donut for us, or? Oh, no. Okay.
Well, Mr. Eugene is on top for Red Bull Racing here in Miami. Domination at its best for Eugene. He has taken the win. Tommy is driver of the day. Great job by him as well. Alfa Romeo, P4 and P5. That's great for their championship hopes. Another incredible performance from that team as they continue to lead the Constructors' Championship battle. Here is our race winner. He won in Japan last time out. He wins now here in Miami. It's back-to-back victories for Red Bull Racing. And that team is going to be continuing to push forward. B-Tom, another great drive from him, and another great drive from Ickle Bickle as well, the Canadian, on the podium once again for Mercedes. Just absolutely stunned by that tire performance that Eugene and B-Tom did, taking it from no pitting, 0 pits, and they started those tires. They started the race on those tires, and they finished the race on those tires. Well done to both of them. Well done to the whole grid. It is an amazing race here in Group 1 at the Miami Grand Prix. So Eugene on top, followed by B-Tom, Ickle Bickle, Speed Queen, Tommy. Jamie gets P6 with the driver of the day, so good recovery for him. Mango P7. It's a what could have been, I think, for Mango. Those penalties really affected the end result. AlphaTauri, double points for them. Kevin, Cal, Xiaomi, another one. Then it's Jim, Rudy, who had that issue with Jim. Gonna have to find out what happened with that. Then it comes Aston Masters, Viperize, then the retirements. Albrecht, Omar, Zayek, and Jojo. Those four will come back stronger, I'm sure, in the next event. But James, man, just give us your thoughts. I think it was an amazing race, but what about you?
That was an amazing race. Very close for everyone, as we see. We had B Tom, Ickle, Speed Queen, Tommy, and at one point we had Mango and Jamie in the fight for the race win, and I think that's the most drivers we've had for the race win in quite a while.
For sure. This league just keeps getting better and better and better. And viewers, this is what's to come, really. This is a small thing of what's to come. I think this league is going to be huge in Season 5. If you think that there's a bunch of fast guys here, just wait till the next season. Group 1 is going to be insane for the amount of competition we're about to get. The admins and owners are working really hard to bring this league to absolute domination in terms of championships and just drivers and all that sort of thing. And we also have our other two tiers, Group 2 and Group 3, of course. That will be absolutely amazing in Season 5 as well. We got a good plan for those two tiers and to bring some good racing for both of that. But yeah, an amazing race from Eugene. Congrats to him on the race victory here in Miami. Seb LaFleur was the first winner in Group 1. The second winner goes to Eugene. Red Bull on top here in the States. Okay, well, I think that might conclude everything. James, I can't remember if I exactly asked you this precise question, but did you have any final thoughts before we end off the stream?
No, I don't have anything other than what we've got tomorrow, and we've got Group 2, Group 3 to come. Same track, same weather conditions, which will be quite fun, because Group 2 is always quite fun to watch.
Oh yeah, for sure. I actually forgot about that. We will have Group 2 tomorrow. Racing continues here at Miami. Group 1 is done. There's the timer, so finally we get back to the loading screen. But yeah, Group 2 tomorrow, exact same time as James said as well. Same track, same weather, pretty much the same thing. The biggest difference, though, is the drivers. We're going to see some drivers that were not here in Group 1. But we will see a few faces in Group 2. I know Kevin, Cal will be there. Viperize will be there. Maybe Jim will be there. Some others as well that possibly raced here. But yeah, we'll be back for Group 2. Same time for the live stream as well. And then right after, it's Group 3 with their race here at Miami. And then for Group 1, the next race is going to be Abu Dhabi. 4 races remain in the championship of LSR Season 4 for Group 1. Abu Dhabi is coming up next, then Belgium, then Brazil, and then rounding off the season at Portimao, since we missed it earlier on in the season. It's a little bit different for the other two grids as they finish out with Brazil, since they did participate at Portimao earlier in the season. Final thoughts before we end off this. I wanted to say something, but I can't remember what it was. Well, Drive to Survive. Our Drive to Survive series is still looking for some people to participate. If you guys do have any thoughts, make sure to contact Speedy Gunner. Yeah, he'll get you in for the interviews and all that sort of thing. We're still looking on setting that up and releasing that. But yeah, good things to come for LSR in the future. We will see you tomorrow for Group 2 and Group 3 as always. But yeah, that's been the Group 1 race here in Miami. I've been former Legiona League founder, and joining me in the commentary box was my good friend James. And we will also be driving tomorrow in Group 2, so please cheer us on if you are back in the live stream comments. Aston Martin, that's our team. But yeah, anyway, peace out. Have a good one, and yep, we'll see you later. Goodbye.